Hi, welcome to the EPCC Biology Department's tutorial video on using Teams to run the CCA project. So if you're choosing to use Microsoft Teams to run the CCA, this video can show you a good way to set that up. So you're going to want to start, of course, by downloading and installing the Teams app and then opening it up. When you open it, it should take you to the Teams page where it shows all your teams. If not, then you can just choose Teams from the left-hand menu. Then you can go on the Teams page to join or create team to make the team. So our basic strategy here is going to be to create one team for each class that you have that's doing the CCA, and then within those teams you can make private channels for every group so that each group has a private space to work and discuss the project. When you click Create Team, it's going to offer you the different types of teams. So you can pick one. We're going to use the class team today so that we get the class notebook. Make a name for your team. I'm just going to use the course number, CRN, and student group project. You could add a description and then click Next. Then it's going to offer you to add people to your team. So if you just start typing people's names in this bar, it's going to find them for you. Anybody who has an EPCC email you can find in this way using this bar. The other way to add people to the team is to just skip this step, and then later on, once the team is made, you can get a link to the team and then distribute that on Blackboard or by email, and anybody who clicks on that link will be added to the team. So today I'm just going to be searching for some members of the CCA committee and adding them to my team. One thing to bear in mind here is that if you have students who have a name that's similar to another student's at EPCC, then you would need to know their actual ID number, their actual username in order to find them here and make sure that you're adding the right person. So you would want to just double check the usernames if you're doing it this way. You can get those usernames in Blackboard. Alrighty, that's everybody I'm going to add for today, so I'm going to click Close. You can also add more people later. So actually, here it's taken you to your team. It takes you to the General channel by default, and it takes you to the Post tab within that channel, where you can find posts and conversation related to this team. But if you go to the name of the team and click the ... button next to it, then you'll get more options. So you can add a member to the team. You could get a link to the team. If you click this, it's going to give you a link that's already highlighted. You can click copy to copy that link. Now it's on your clipboard. You can copy paste that onto a Blackboard post or into emails that you send out to your students, and then they could join the team that way, and it might save you some time. Also, if you click this ... you can come to Manage Team, and it'll show you everybody who's in the team. And if you click the X next to somebody's name, it will remove them from the team. So I'll come back to the General channel, and I'm going to be setting up this channel for the CCA project. So I'm going to want to add some files here to the Files tab that I want to distribute to the entire class. If you click Upload Class Materials here, it just takes you to the Files tab also. And you just wait a moment. Well, maybe I'll leave and come back. There we go. Okay, so there's no files in here right now, of course. You can click Upload to upload files from your computer. You could also click New. You can make a folder to help organize your files if you have a lot. You can also make Microsoft Office documents right here in Teams. Right now I'm going to click Upload and find my CCA files that I want to share with everybody. So I'm sharing the rubric and the student guide and also a presentation outline I made, just a very bare bones PowerPoint, so they'll have something to work off of if they want. So any student who's a member of this team can now access all of these files and they can download them. There is one issue here. If you have uploaded Microsoft Office files here, like this PowerPoint, students can actually edit that file here in Teams. So to prevent that from happening, one thing you could do is come to the file name and click the ... next to it, and then go to the bottom of this menu where it says More, and then click Checkout. Once you have this file checked out, what that means is whoever checked it out is the only person who can make changes until it's checked back in. So when you check it out, no one else can make changes to it. So if you just leave this checked out for the whole semester, then students can still download it, but they cannot change it. So they can't change it in Teams. If they download it and save it with a new file name, then they can make changes to it. But that wouldn't be uploaded to this document in Teams so that other students can also get the same version. And then you could also go back to More and check in or discard the checkout. So I'll put check in. It wants me to describe what changes I made, but I didn't change anything. You actually do have to add a description or it will not let you check it back in. Okay, so now this is checked back in and anybody can edit it again. If you didn't want to check that out, another thing you could do is click that ... and come down to open in SharePoint. At that point, it's going to open it in your web browser. So if I click this, it's going to open SharePoint in my browser. SharePoint is kind of Microsoft's cloud storage space for Teams. And it's going to have all the files here that I had added to that team, and I can find the file in question and click ... and come down to the version history. So it's going to save in SharePoint previous versions of this file. So if a student accidentally makes some edits to it, then you could roll back to a previous version before those edits were made. So right now it doesn't have anything when I click on version history because there's been no changes to this file. But if there had been, then it would show the previous version here. It'll save up to 25 different versions and you can roll it back. Okay, so those are all the files I wanted to share with everybody. So next I'm going to set up the class notebook. There's two options for how you can set it up. You can make a blank notebook from scratch, or if you already have a notebook, a class notebook with some sections that you would like to copy into here, you could do that as well. Well, actually, it doesn't have to be a class notebook. If there's any sections in a OneNote notebook you have that you wanted to copy into here, you could do it. So if there is anything that you were wanting to distribute to all of your classes in the notebook, then I would recommend that with your first team, you do the blank notebook and set it up the way you want, put all the content in there that you want, and then on the next teams that you make for your other classes, you could just click from existing notebook content so that you'd be able to copy those sections you already made into the new notebooks. So just to show you how that would work, I'm going to click from existing notebook content now. And it's going to take you to a page where it kind of explains the different parts of the notebook. You have 4 parts of every classroom notebook. You have a collaboration space where everybody can make notes and edit what's in there. So everybody in the team can work together in here. And then you also have the content library, which is where you are able to add notes and then the students can see them, but they cannot edit them. So if there's any just general notes for the project that you wanted to give students, you could put them here. If there's any handouts you wanted to put here that you didn't want to add to the Files tab, then you could use the Content Library to do that, and students can access them. You also have a teacher-only section. The students don't see that section. Only you can see it and edit it. Then you have the student notebook section. So every student who's in this team is going to get their own notebook, their own student notebook, and only they and you will be able to see it and edit it. So it's a private space for them to make their own notes about the project. The sections that you can copy into are the content library and the teacher only section. The collaboration space and of course the student notebooks, you can't copy anything into those sections. So I'm going to click next, and it's going to offer me to do those copies, those notebook copies. So I'm going to copy something into the content library by clicking add content. And it's going to find all the different notebooks I have on Teams, and also any notebook you have that is synced with the cloud. So I'm going to pick this particular notebook for another CCA class. And then it's going to find any sections in that notebook that I would be able to copy, which are the content library or teacher only sections. And I'm going to copy this untitled section that I made. Actually, when I copy it, it does have a title. And I'll click done. And I don't want to copy anything into the teacher only section, so I'll leave that blank and I'll click next. Now it's going to offer you to personalize the students' private notebooks. So if you're using Teams to run your entire class, distributing assignments and quizzes and such in Teams, then you might want to stick with these default sections that they have created. If you're only using Teams to run the CCA project, then they're not so relevant. So I'm just going to X these out and make a new section. I'm going to call it My Project Notes. And I'll click Create. You could add as many custom sections as you want to the student notebook. Every student will have each of those sections. And now we'll just wait while it makes that notebook. In the meantime, it has these other tabs here, assignments and grades tabs. If you are just using this for the CCA, you may not end up using these tabs. If you're using Teams to run your entire class, then you could make assignments in the assignments tab. And if you have made assignments in the assignments tab, then you're going to show them, you're going to see them showing up in the grades tab as like a grade book. It's blank until you add assignments. I'm not going to be adding any assignments into this team. If you're using Blackboard or some other platform for assignments, it could be a good idea to just stick with that one platform and not use Teams also, just because students can get confused if they have assignments that are in different platforms. If you do go that route, then I would just make it very clear to the students which assignments are in what platform, and just post that information like in as many places as you can so that there's no confusion on what is where. So if I go back to my class notebook, it has now created the notebook. It's always going to take you to this kind of introductory page that explains the notebook. Then if you click on this arrow on the left-hand side, it expands the different parts of the notebook. So in this welcome section, it has this page that we started out on. It also has an FAQ page that tells you more about how to use the notebook and troubleshooting for the notebook. Then it has the different sections that we had just set up. So it has the collaboration space. Right now, the only thing that's in there is how to use the collaboration space. Then it has the content library. It has how to use the content library. And then it also has the section that I had copied from that other notebook. Right, so you can make that section and then copy it into all the other notebooks that you want to set up for your different teams. Then you have the teacher only section with just a how to use it, and then the student section. So every student that's in here is going to have their own section. If you click on that student, it's going to show you all the different all the different sections of the notebook that you made for them. I only made one, so there's just that one, but if you made multiple, they would be showing here for each of these students. So for the students, what they see in here is they see welcome, they see the collaboration space, they see the content library, and then they see their specific student notebook, and that is all that they see. So they can make some private notes on the project here for themselves. And that's the basic intro to the general channel. The last thing I'm going to do in this channel is post an introductory message, which I've already typed and copied from another program. So you can just click in here and start typing, and then click send to make a message. Or if you click on this A, then it's going to expand this space. And you have formatting options and also more options about the post. So I'm actually going to make this not as just a conversation, but as an announcement so that it appears more prominently. I'm just going to paste my text into there and call this welcome. Welcome to Teams. And then I'll click the airplane to post it. Alrighty. So that's basically my general channel. What else I'm going to do is make one more channel that is basically a help channel. So I'm going to come to my my team name and click the ... and click add channel. And I'm going to call this, the Teams help channel. I'm going to leave it on standard so that everybody in the team can access it. And I'm going to check the box to show it in everyone's channel list so I make sure everybody is able to see it. Then I'll click add. And now it's showing up here underneath the general channel. Since the privacy was set to standard, everybody in the team can see both the general channel and the Teams help channel, especially since I clicked that, I checked that box so that everybody will see it here in this channel list. So here, I'm just going to post some links to help sites, and I'm going to post these as announcements. So I'll click the A to expand my options and click announcement. The first one I'll do is Teams training, and I'm copying the URL for a Microsoft site that has videos on how to use Teams. And let's see, I'm going to put my cursor down here in the announcement text field. Then I'm going to click the insert link button. And I'll copy paste that, or I'll paste that URL into there, and I'm going to call this Teams videos and insert. And now it has the link. The last thing I'm going to do here is come up to the top, and where it says post in multiple channels, I'm going to click that. And what you can actually do is just make this announcement one time and then post it to every team that you have made for your different classes. So if you have multiple classes that are doing the CCA, you can make a team for each one, and set up your channels in each one. So set up the Teams help channel in each one. And then you can come here to one of them, just one of them, and make that announcement and post in multiple channels. It's going to show you all the channels it's posted in, currently just this one. Then I can click select channels and pick channels from different teams. So here I have a different team CCA that I set up. So I'll check the box for the Teams help channel in that one. And here's yet another team for CCA that I had made, and I'll click the Teams help channel in that one, and then I'm going to click update. So now this announcement is going to be posted in Teams help for all three of these teams. And I'm just going to come down to the bottom and click my little airplane to send that. Okay, so now that's posted. And it's posted into the Teams help channel in every team, every CCA team that I have. Another thing to note there, you can always edit your posts. To edit, just hover over the post and you'll get this little bar appearing, and you can click the ... and edit. When I edit this, I'm not going to actually make any changes to it, but if I did, it would actually update it in every channel that it is posted to automatically. Then when you're done with your edits, just click the check mark to save them. So I'm just going to post a couple other links here, clicking the A to make these announcements. This one is going to be for Teams troubleshooting, and I'm going to add my link. This link is to a Microsoft Teams troubleshooting page that just walks through different common issues that people have with Teams and how to solve them. So I'm going to call this Teams troubleshooting common issues. and post that. And just one more. I would also post these in multiple channels, but just to save a little bit of time, I'm not doing that for this demo. This last announcement that I'm making is going to be contact support. It's going to be for contacting support, and I'll put the link. This link is to contact Microsoft Office support. It's not specifically for Teams, it's for all Microsoft Office, but it's the general link that you would use if you're having an issue. Let me just call it Microsoft support. If you're having an issue with Teams that can't be resolved by just looking at the troubleshooting page. And I'll post that. Okay, so now I have my 3 help links on here. So you can add more links or more content if you would like. Another thing you can do is come to the Files tab and add help files there. So one good thing would be to add the tutorial videos for students to this Files tab. I'm not sure exactly how those are going to be distributed, but they will be distributed to you one way or another. And at that point, you can upload them to this tab. So I'm going to click upload and find these videos on my computer. Let's see. Here we go. This is for students. The orientation video for students. That'll take a moment to upload. And then I'm also going to go ahead and upload the video about doing the actual presentations for students. Alrighty, so now those files are available for the students to watch at any time and to download to their computer. The final thing to note about this Teams Help channel is that the way it's configured presently, anybody is able to post to it. And there's not currently a way in Teams to pin a post to the top of a page, although they are working on that feature, so hopefully it will be available soon. So in the meantime, if you wanted to prevent a bunch of students from posting in here and your announcements getting lost in the shuffle, what you would do is come over to the channel name and click that ... And you're going to come down to Manage Channel and set the permissions to only let you post. So you're going to change the channel moderation from off to on. And now only moderators can post. By default, you, the team owner, is the moderator. You could click Manage to add more people. And so only these team moderators are able to post in this channel. So I'm also going to uncheck all these other boxes so that nobody can respond to posts either. So just no posts in here and no responses except for my own. And you don't have to click save. It saves it automatically. There we go. So the final thing to do here is actually make your private channels for the different groups. So I'm going to come up to the team name, click the ... and click Add Channel. You would do this once for every group. Ideally, before you do this, you would have it worked out who's going to be in what group. You could do that however you want. You could assign students to groups, or you could let students form their own groups, whatever seems good to you. So I'm going to put a name for this, group 1, just generic group 1. You could also put a group name. If you let students name their groups, you could have something more personalized there. And then on the privacy, I'm going to set that from standard to private. In a private channel, only people I add to this channel will be able to access it, and myself, the team owner. So other than that, no one will access the channel or even be able to see that the channel exists. So I'll click Next. It's going to make the channel, and then it's going to offer me to add students. I could also click Skip and add them later, but just by typing their names in here, I can find them and add them. So I'm going to add some of the people that I had added to this team. already added her. Okay. Okay, and there's 4 people for this group, and I'll click done. So here's my group 1 private channel. They have a post tab where they can discuss the project with each other. So you and also anybody in this group can make posts here and have a private discussion about the project. They can of course also be keeping their own private notes in their student notebooks. And you can also come to the Files tab and they can work on files together here. So they can upload files from their computers and then everybody will be able to see it, download it, edit it. They can also click New and make a Microsoft Office file right here. So right now I'm going to make an Excel workbook just to show it, and I'll call this Project Data. And it opens it up right here in Teams. So it's just basically Microsoft Excel and Teams. So anybody who has access to this channel is able to access this file, open it in Teams, make changes to it. All the changes that you make are automatically saved here. There are a few features that are not available in this Teams version of the Excel app. So if the students need more features, they can click Open in Desktop App, and that will open the same file using the Microsoft Excel program that's installed on their actual computer. When they're doing that, they can make their changes. When they're done, if they click Save, it's going to save it to Teams. So it's going to update the file that's in Teams with the changes that they just made. Then at the end, you can click Close. Another thing that students can do in here is leave comments on the document. That will be added to the document itself at different points, wherever you have it highlighted. Or you can click the conversation button. Let me actually close the comments there and talk about it there. So if the students type in the conversation panel, it's actually going to post those messages to the post tab in this channel. Whereas the comments would be added to the document itself so that they would still be visible if the student clicks to open in the desktop app. So that's a way that they can discuss with each other what to do about this document. And then when they're done, they can just click Close and it saves everything automatically. So the same thing for PowerPoint. They could click New, PowerPoint Presentation. I'm just going to call this our presentation and Create. And it opens PowerPoint in Microsoft Teams. So there may be some features that are not here in the Teams version of this app. So then the students can click Open in Desktop App and it will open actual Microsoft PowerPoint on their computer and they can edit the file there. And once again, if they click Save, it's going to update the file here in Teams. And they can also click Comment to leave comments. They can have a conversation about this document that posts to the Post tab for their channel. And then when they click Close, it will automatically save any changes. You also have previous versions of all these documents in the same Microsoft SharePoint. So if you click the ... you could open in SharePoint and you can see up to 25 past versions of the document there. So I'm just going to click one more, or I'm just going to add one more channel here for group 2 and a private channel. Next. And I will add the remaining members of the team to this channel. Oh, let's see. Alrighty, so now I have group 1 and group 2. So 2 different groups with 2 different private channels. So if you're a student who is in group 2, you're going to see the general channel, the Teams Help channel, and the group 2 channel, and you will not see group 1. If you're in group 1, you'll be seeing general, group 1, and Teams Help, and that's it. And so same thing for group 2, they have their posts where they can talk about the project, they have files where they can share files and work on them together. And let's see, you cannot actually reorder the channels in the channel list. Is just alphabetical. That's something to bear in mind here. General is always at top, and then it's just alphabetical. And you can also rename these channels. So if a group had later on changed their team name to something more personalized, you could click the ... next to that channel name, and you could click to edit the channel and change the name. So here I'll say that this group decided that they would like to be named Tejanos for the win, or Tejanos FTW, and now their channel is showing up with that name. Alright, so that's the basics of how to set up teams to run the CCA project. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and thank you for watching.